Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are San Diego.
Welcome to New York. The George Washington Bridge is filling up as the crowd makes their way into Citi Field. The Padres are here in New York for Game 1 of a 3-game series with the New York Mets. Well, Ryan Schimpf is certainly glad to be back in New York. Last year, 4 for 9 with 2 home runs and 6 RBIs in the series against the Mets last season. And Michael Conforto off to a tremendous start, hitting at .320, 11 homers, 27 runs batted in, and leading off again tonight for the Mets. We welcome you inside the broadcast booth, everybody. Don Orsillo along with Mark Grant. Welcome to Padres baseball. Well, the Padres here to take on a Mets team a lot was expected of. So far, the Mets have been backed up injury-wise and not playing good baseball.
Big Apple's kind of rotten right now. A lot of expectation from this Mets team, as you mentioned, Don. And we take a look at the people and the players that are really making this a mess. When you lose a slugger, when you lose an ace, when you lose the closer, everybody has to step up, and that's one of the reasons why the Mets are below 500 right now. Hey, tough crowd here to New York. We know all about that. That's for sure. And one guy who's up against a tough crowd, HARVEY.
HARVEY doesn't get the start. He is 3rd since coming back after his brief suspension.
It's his 9th start on the year, and they're the 27-year-old. His velocity is down. He's very inconsistent with the slider, and the walks are really way up. So hopefully the Padre hitters can be very, very patient at the plate, get on base, and then hurt him with a long ball or an extra base hit. He's not going deep into the games. That's a common theme of the starters as well for the Mets. So hopefully they can get to the right-hander, the Dark Knight, very early.
Tonight for the Padres, it's Jhoulys Chacín trying to transcend some of the stuff he's been able to do at home on the road. He's coming off a great outing against the Brewers.
Boy, if he could just, you're right, like sit in the dugout and say, hey, beautiful park, Petco Park, why not transfer it over here to Citi Field in New York? What works well for him in Milwaukee against the Brewers at home? The slider. 7 solid innings. If he's got the touch early for that release point in that slider, mixing a fastball in the corners, I see that Jhoulys Chacín should have a good outing. 41% of those pitches were sliders, so that seems to be the pitch. Hopefully it works early for him tonight.
2 city trip starts for the Padres tonight in New York. Then they'll head to Washington. A couple of changes for the Padres, including Carlos Asuaje is now back with the Padres. We return. We'll learn more from Michelle Margot after this. Petco presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by Car Shield. Want to keep your auto repair bills in the park? Get Car Shield. They could save you thousands off your next auto repair bill. That's carshield.com. By Petco, your complete pet store with all the nutrition, supplies, and services you need. By the all-new 2017 Subaru Impreza. Subaru symmetrical all-wheel drive plus 28 miles per gallon. More than a car, it's a Subaru. And by Jack in the Box. Come try the new guacamole and bacon chicken sandwich only at Jack in the Box. We welcome you back to New York. First game of this three-game series. Before we get it started, let's send it down to the field to Michelle Margot.
Thank you so much, Don. Well, you mentioned the Mets injuries. There's also been some player movement on the Padres end as well. Luis Sardinez got designated for assignment. In correspondence, the Padres claimed Chase Darno off of waivers and recalled Carlos Asuaje from AAA El Paso. Here's what both of them had to say on getting the opportunity.
I mean, it's great. It's obviously, what we work for in the minor leagues, and to be here is great. It's a great opportunity for me personally, and I'm just here to try to help the team win and try to do my best job while I'm
here. It's a National League team. I just got done playing with the Red Sox, an American League team where usually if you're not starting the game, chances are you're not going to get in there. But with a National League team and me being a super utility player, it's very likely that I'll come in to double switch or come in for a pinch hit, get a spot start here and there. So I'm looking forward to playing more.
Well, Chase Darno is a Southern California kid from Long Beach, California, and his grandpa actually lives in La Jolla, so he joked around saying he might just live with him when they get back to San Diego. When we come back, Jalees Chastain on the hill for the Padres against Matt Harvey and the New York Mets as the Padres look to do some big apple bashing. First pitch coming up next. Stay with us.
Clayton Richard took to the mound and delivered exactly what was needed, a complete game gem. His dominant performance gave the Padres a much-needed lift as they begin their 6-game road trip in New York City. Tonight, Jalees Chastain takes center stage, aiming to duplicate Richard's success and bring his stellar performances from Petco Park out onto the road. For the Mets, Matt Harvey seeks redemption as he makes his first home start following a 3-game suspension.
Extremely embarrassed by my actions. I apologize to my teammates.
It's baseball on the Big Apple. Padres and Mets next on Fox Sports San Diego. We welcome you back to Citi Field as we get ready for this 3-game series, and it's time now for the weather report, brought to you by your always sunny San Diego Honda dealers. Not so sunny here in New York. Crowd covered right now, 68 degrees, southwest at 4 miles per hour, and mostly cloudy is the forecast for the rest of the night, but should be precipitation free. Fans, you can join us in Sequan Pick the Stick. Weigh in on Twitter for a chance to win a free foursome of golf, courtesy of Sequan Golf Resort. Just hashtag I'm with. Last name of the broadcaster you want to join forces with. There's the first pitch of the ball game from Harvey. Is going to miss outside, and we are underway. MANUEL Margot leading it off here for the Padres in the top of the first inning. Participating in his 46th game of the year. Now, this is the first home start for Harvey since that brief 3-game suspension. The other 2 starts were on the road, and they were both so-so for Harvey. And he has actually changed his arm angle a little bit, about 6 inches for this start tonight. We'll be keeping an eye on that as the night goes on.
Well, let's check in a little bit more about Matt Harvey. He's got the fastball, slider, curveball, changeup. His mental state tonight, what that's going to be like. Don mentioned first start back here at home since the suspension. The velocity is down a little bit. The walks are up. It seems to be a common theme for this Mets starting rotation. The last 2 games, 22 full counts, 17 walks. A lot of base runners.
Margot takes the strike. He got the bad news. Thought he had ball 4, but Bruce Treckman said it was a strike, and it's a full count now to Margot. Swing and a miss, and Harvey strikes out Margot to begin the night. Let's check out the Padres starting lineup, brought to you by Toyota. Just saw MANUEL Margot leading it off and in center field with Yangervis Solarte at second base. Will Myers at first base with Ryan Schimpf at third. Hunter Renfroe in right with Corey Spangenberg in left. Austin Hedges doing the catching, batting 7th with Eric Ibar, the shortstop, 8th. And Jolie Chassin out of the 9th spot for the Padres. There is Yangervis Solarte. There's strike 1. 95 miles an hour out of the gate here for Matt Harvey.
Yeah, usually Harvey up around 97. Talked to Ron Darling, the analyst for the Mets. He said that the velocity is down just a little bit, but he looks kind of free and easy right now at 95 straight.
And he jumps ahead of Solarte here, 0-2. 9th start of the year for Harvey. Comes in with a high 5.56 earned run average. 2-3 record individually, trying to get back to the 500 mark. Just away, and that was at 96.
Got a little bit of movement also down and away from Matt Harvey.
In his career here at home, a 2.71 earned run average for Harvey. That'll skip in and even the count of 2-2.
Breaking out the changeup early.
A 2-1 record in his career against the Padres, 3.38 ERA. Time called. The catcher actually requested time. Rene Rivera, the former Padre, wanted timeout.
You know, it's amazing that Harvey's record isn't better. He's getting over 5.5 runs per start of support.
This is popped up left side. Jose Reyes, the shortstop, with the feet on the dirt of the infield, 2 down. Well, defensively for the Mets tonight, left to right in the outfield, Michael Conforto is in left field with Curtis Granderson in center. Jay Bruce around in right with Wilmer Flores at third base. Jose Reyes had just made the catch at short. Neil Walker at second. Lucas Duda at first base, and Rene Rivera doing the catching for Matt Harvey. So 2 down, and here's Wil Myers. Will has been quiet lately for the Padres, really for the first time this year. Overall 278, 11 homers, and 27 runs batted in. Fouled off to the right, out of play into the second deck.
See Harvey pumping the fastball, proving to these Padre hitters, hey, here it is. See if you can turn it around. Why mess with the breaking stuff or off-speed stuff? Prove to me that you can hit it.
Tad high, and it's 1-2 to Myers. 0 for his last 12 and 4 for 23 on the homestand for Myers.
Well, it doesn't look like the velo was down tonight for Harvey early on, that's for sure. He's touched 96.
Myers will foul it off himself. A strikeout and a pop out for the first 2 outs of this first inning now, dealing with Myers. As Harvey took a stroll counterclockwise around the mound. Ready to toe the rubber again. Outfield playing for Myers to go the other way. Curtis Granderson into right center. And a fly ball to left field. Back goes Conforto almost to the warning track to make the catch that ends the inning. A 1-2-3 first for Harvey. The Mets are coming up in New York. New York, the Padres don't score in the first. In fact, they go in order in the first inning, and the New York Mets are coming up. We check out the Mets starting 9. Michael Conforto off to a tremendous start, leading it off for the Mets with Jose Reyes at shortstop, Jay Bruce in right, Neil Walker at first base, Curtis Granderson, the veteran, in center field with Wilmer Flores at third base, Lucas Duda doing the first base work with Rene Rivera doing the catching and batting 8th, and it's Matt Harvey on the mound out of the 9th spot for Terry Collins, who's coming under some fire here with his start for the Mets. We talked about it, injuries being the biggest reason for the Mets' inability so far this year, but they come in at 18-24, but already 7.5 games back of the Nationals in the National League East.
Always pinned on the manager, right?
Yep.
You have no control over the injuries. A plethora of injuries for Terry Collins.
Conforto dealing with Jhoulys Chacín on the mound tonight for the Padres.
Well, stability on the road. We know about the home road splits. 8-7-7 on the road, and use the grass. Working down to the zone with the two-seamer and the slider. Infield grass is his friend. Let the infielders work.
Well, Chacín trying to duplicate the success that he has enjoyed at home on the road. Loves Petco Park. The road has not been the same for him so far this year. Hoping to be able to do that tonight. Some great numbers for Conforto to begin the year.
Yeah, tough out, and Terry Collins, and you know, they struggled in April and May, so Conforto definitely their best hitter, best player right now, and no reason why not to put him at the top of the lineup. Get on base. Tough out these days.
Not your atypical leadoff guy. 11 home runs. It's at 320, and it's a ground ball foul over by his own dugout. Here are the splits. 2-0 at home with a 0.67 earned run average. 5 games away from Petco Park, 2-3 with an 8.77.
I'm going to be honest with you. I can't explain it. It's an enigma, a conundrum.
We talked about the possibilities of really the comfort of home, being on that home mound, the depth perception from behind home plate, and some of the things that he likes about Petco Park as being a possibility.
Those are legit points, no question about it. I don't think I've ever seen an extreme like that. And this is what Conforto and the Mets need right here. And at bat to where he's battling with 2 strikes, fouling off breaking balls. Fouled off a fastball in over the Padres dugout. By the way, the Bombers are playing tonight north of here in the Bronx.
Yeah, semi-unusual to have the Yankees and Mets in town at the same time. They're hosting the Royals. This one grounded foul again over to the Mets dugout area, and this lengthy at bat continues. That was the leadoff hitter. This is the 25th time it's happened. Sitting at 305 from the leadoff spot. 621 slugging percentage. 8 homers. Scoring some runs, 25 so far. Foul it off again.
And overall this year, a .412 on base percentage. Now, if you're at 330, you're doing, that's pretty average. If you're above that, it's gravy. .412 on base percentage for Michael Conforto this year.
This leadoff at bat about to go into double figures in pitches seen, as this would be number 10. Padres are shifting on the right side, and Chacin taking a long time, so Conforto asked and received timeout. There is the shift. SCHIMPF, the third baseman, to the right side of the infield. In the air to right field. Struck pretty well. RENFROE going back onto the track at the wall. It's gone. A 10-pitch at bat results in a home run for Michael Conforto, and the Mets jump out to a 1-0 lead. That was some kind of at bat for Conforto.
This is very impressive. He fouled off fastballs. He fouled off breaking balls. The count was 1-2. That was just too fat of a pitch. It was a slider out of the hand of Chacin. And a great effort out in right field by Hunter Renfroe. You know, it was over the wall, but you never know. The Padre right fielder, he scaled that wall. But hey, that's one at bat where you have to tip the cap to Conforto. That was a battle.
Now Jose Reyes close to the plate from the left side. He'll take the strike. There's a deep part of the ballpark out there, kind of jets out to 370 behind the right fielder Hunter Renfroe, and that's where it ended up, out there and right. Now Chacin trying to grab his bearings here in the first inning. Reyes only hitting at 205 coming in.
Frustrating for a pitcher, I'm not going to lie to you. He tried to throw every pitch, tried to hit every location, and he's fouling it off, fouling up, and he's still in the hole 1-2. But it's just that mistake.
This will get through the right side into right field, a base hit. So a home run and a single to start this bottom of the first inning. Let's check out the Padres defensively behind Jhoulys Chacin. CORY SPANGENBERG in left field, MANUEL MARGOT in center, Hunter Renfroe in right. With Ryan SCHIMPF at third base, Eric Aybar at short, Yangervis Solarte at second base. Will Myers at first, with Austin Hedges doing the catching for Jhoulys Chacin. Second in fielding percentage is Yangervis Solarte in the National League at second base, and he is part of a shift on the right side of the infield here against Jay Bruce. And that's a breaking ball in there for strike one. 248 average for Bruce, 11 home runs and 30 runs batted in. A fast start here for the Mets in the bottom of the first inning. Fouls it off the other way.
You know, there was one thing that I looked up about this Mets team, and it was apparent when Conforto was up at the plate, falling off all those pitches. Mets strike out the fewest times in the National League. They're first in that category. They don't strike out a lot.
Chassin jumping ahead here, 0-2. And trying to pick up the outside corner, could not. The home run by Conforto to begin this inning, the 4th leadoff home run this year for Conforto. That's starting something offensively after Harvey enjoyed a 1-2-3 first inning. Now the shift on and taking it right by where the third baseman would be into left field for Jay Bruce. Beats the shift there as Reyes takes second base.
This is totally not normal swing by Jay Bruce, fighting this one off, just fighting the ball the other way. That's not the Jay Bruce we know. Hey, maybe he was fooled by a fastball in and just tried to make contact. Maybe that was his intent. You can see emotion of the guys on the bench. He's getting his hands in there and staying inside that baseball for the base knock to left.
Well, the Mets have come up with some timely hitting lately. They're 5 for the last 15 with runners in scoring position. And they have a runner there now in Reyes at second, Bruce at first, and here's Neil Walker. Walker, the cleanup hitter, hitting at just 248 for the Mets.
Yeah, when you don't have Cespedes, right, you got to make some way, shape, or form to put that lineup together for Terry Collins. It's going to be interesting when he comes back what they're going to do in the outfield. Because last I checked, you can only have 3 outfielders, right?
You could throw 4 out there if you wanted to, but most don't.
Heavy pull on the right side. Shallow in center is Margot, and just a little bit shading towards that right center field gap, just a little bit.
That's our 12th in batting average, coming in at 237 as a team. They're last in earned run average as a pitching staff, 5.14. In fact, only team in the majors up over 5. Runs away for ball 2. Well, Chassin is yet to record it out here in the first inning. A home run, back-to-back singles, now battling with Neil Walker. Breaking ball, grounded foul.
Let's go back to that home run off the bat of Conforto, but watch the hanging slider as it's crushed. Now, as an outfielder, you try to give it every effort you can. Hunter Renfroe, he's got a beat on it. Okay, track, flash look again. You know, well out of his reach, but you know what? I like that. I like at least going back and trying to give it the old college try.
Two is the other way to left. Spangenberg will move over and play it on a hop. Has stopped at third base as Reyes' throw goes there. And the Mets now have the bases loaded with nobody out. 4 straight hits to start this bottom of the first inning for the Mets.
Now Conforto going yard. Reyes singling to right. In on the fist of Bruce to left. And the lefty Walker, the switch hitter from the left side, takes it that way.
So the bases are filled with Mets here. A run already in. And Granderson coming up.
Need a triple play here.
Just a 169 average for Granderson. 4 homers. 15 runs batted in, and with all the injuries, having a chance to play on a regular basis starting in center field tonight. In the air to center field. Margot has plenty of room, gets himself ready as he'll make the catch. Throw's going to go to second as the runner tags from third and scores. Reyes is in, and the Mets have a 2-0 lead. Jay Bruce at second, tagged up and moved over to third base on the sacrifice fly off the bat of Curtis Granderson. It's 2-0 New York.
Oh, good at bat by, I should say, plate appearance right there by Curtis Granderson, not trying to do too much. And you know what? The throw from MANUEL Margot, you know, keeping that guy at first base. He tried to go to third. He's going to take second. You take the double play off. Keep that guy at first base. Just eliminate another runner from being in scoring position.
So first and third now. And it brings up WILMER FLORES. WILMER shortstop seeing time now at third base. He'll take strike one from Chassin. He was on the DL himself, had a knee infection. On the DL on May the 3rd. There's a ground ball, kind of an inside out swing that'll stay foul. Better at home than he is on the road, hitting at .298 at home this season. 0-2. Grounder right side, vacated right side, into right field. From third base comes Jay Bruce. And the Mets lead it 3-0. Taking third is Neil Walker. That is the 5th hit of this inning and the 3rd run scored by New York.
You have got to be cartooning me. That was like a 38 hopper through the right side. With the way the defense was playing, look at this ball. You can see Solarte over towards second base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 38 to the outfield. Just getting jammed. Sure, the home run was hit hard, and you know what? That's going to happen in baseball. You fight one off. With the way shifts are dealing with these days, hitters, they're going to find holes, and I'll tell you what, that's frustrating as a pitcher.
Well, Darren Balsley out there talking to Chassin. Lucas Duda coming up here now for the Mets.
That's something recently that the Mets have not been doing well lately. Runners in scoring position. Major League worst, .225 batting average coming into this game.
Duda 206, 4 homers, 7 runs batted in. First and third, still only 1 out in the inning. And that's strike one as he jumps ahead. It's a 30-pitch inning so far for Chassin.
That's a workout.
Line towards the gap in left center. That's going to get down and roll. From third comes Walker. He'll score. Flores going to try and score all the way from first base. No throw. He does. And the Mets take a 5-0 lead here in the first inning.
Guys are getting jammed, fighting it off the other way. Chassin misses location. He wants to bring the two-seamer in. And generally speaking, down middle of the plate, left-hander, right into the swing path of Lucas Duda. Flores is off. The play's right in front of him. Then he'll pick up third base coach Glenn Sherlock. Scoring easily. Wow.
Rene Rivera. A healthy hack right there, at a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. 308 average for him so far. 2 homers, 14 runs batted in for the former Padre. So 6 hits in the inning and 5 runs right now for New York. Still only 1 out. And a swing and a foul tip. Chassin coming into this game with an individual record of 4-3. A 4.61 earned run average, and roughed up here so far in the first inning. battle his way through this first. Meanwhile, Matt Harvey, who had a 1-2-3 first inning on 16 pitches, has now got a 5-0 lead. Fouled off again. You know what got it started too? You think about the home run by Conforto, but it was a 10-pitch at bat before he got that home run.
Yeah, that's a good key.
There is action in the Padres pen. Craig Stammen warming right now.
You know what's impressive about that at bat going to that home run? It was 1-2. I mean, he had fought off pitches. It wasn't like it was 3-2.
To right, and this is going to fall.
This is unbelievable.
Duda will take third. Aboard at first is Rivera. First and third with one out. Hit number 7 of this first inning for the Mets.
This is unreal. If taken a ball down and away, Rene Rivera has a slider speed bat. And he hits that one just perfectly off the end of the bat to dump it into shallow right field for a single.
Now Matt Harvey, batting for the first time, does not have a hit this year. 0 for 17, but over his 5-year career, a 117 batting average. They are crashing as he was showing bunt. Did he offer? No. Mike Everett, first base umpire and crew chief, said he didn't go. Grabbed the attention of both Schimpf at third and Myers at first. Swinging away and grounding one softly to third. Schimpf will throw to first with Myers backpedaling to cover. And Harvey's retired 5-3. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Well, even though Conforto's coming to the plate for the second time, he hit a home run. One of the keys was to try to keep him quiet. Make Michael unconforto. And don't let Harvey get off the hook. He had a nice first inning. Once again, Padres got some catch up.
Well, the Mets have batted around here in this first inning, and Conforto's the guy that got it all started with a home run. A 10-pitch at bat. Andy Green sticking here with Chassin as long as he can before turning it over to the pen. Stammen warming in the pen. 321 the last 9 games for Conforto. And he'll take it the other way. That's going to get in for a base hit. Duda will score. Behind him is Rivera. No throw to the plate. 2 more runs for the Mets, and New York on top 7-0.
Conforto's first at bat, battling foul balls, 1 and 2 home run, pulling the baseball. Second at bat, the Mets batting around. He takes this ball the opposite way. You think the kid's got a pretty good idea of the strike zone and how to handle certain pitches? He has shown it in the first 2 at bats in 1 inning here in New York.
Andy Green out to make the change. Craig Stammen will be coming in. The Mets on 8 hits have scored 7 times so far here in the first inning. After recording 2 outs in the first inning and allowing 7 runs so far, still responsible for Conforto at first base, and this pitching change is brought to you by El Cajon Ford as Craig Stammen in the game now for the Padres.
Well, we've been in this position before, and now it's the job of Craig Stammen in the bullpen to try to eat up some innings. He talked about being economical out of the bullpen. This is one of those situations where this has to happen. Mets putting a hurting on the Padres here in the first.
Jose Reyes getting his second at bat of this first inning and jumping back out of the way of a strike. He singled to right field, came around to score the second Mets run. Center fielder Margot over towards right center, gap out there in left center. Now Conforto has 2 hits in this inning. The home run to lead it off in the bottom of the first, and a 2-run single. So 2 hits, 3 RBIs. For the leadoff hitter, it's a ground ball down third baseline. Schimpf on the run with the throw. It's going to be close, and it's in time. Reyes retired 5-3. We'll see if the Mets are going to challenge this. Terry Collins has told the umpires to hang on here and may want to take a look. It was a bang play at first, and they will not challenge. So it puts an end to the inning. 8 hits and 7 runs later for the Mets. They lead it 7-0. From Citi Field as we head to the second inning. It's the most runs scored in the first inning for the Mets since September the 16th of 2004 against the Braves. And they scored 7 times that day as well, and they've got 7 runs in the first as the Padres come to bat here in the second. Ryan Schimpf, Hunter Renfroe, and Cory Spangenberg will look to chip away at this Mets lead.
That's all you can do, right?
Schimpf will take a look at ball 1. They're in a shift on Schimpf. Great series here last year at Citi Field. 165 average this year. 10 homers and 20 runs batted in. Harvey falling behind here, 3-0.
You know what a New York minute is, right?
I do.
That's how quickly things can change.
Okay, Don Henley. 3-0 pitch. And that's ball 4. That is absolutely the last thing the Mets wanted to do right there. Leadoff walk. Let's check in with Michelle.
Yeah, guys, a quick roster update for you. On Thursday, Dinelson Lamet is expected to make his first start in the place of Jared Weaver being injured. Lamet is the Padres' number 10 prospect. He has started in 8 games for the El Paso Chihuahuas this season, posting an ERA of 3.23. Andy Green said he's expected to arrive in New York late tonight, and he spoke very highly of his stuff. He's certainly looking forward to seeing what he can do, guys.
All right, thanks very much, Michelle. We look forward to that. And a couple changes for the Padres. You mentioned earlier, Carlos Wahe is now back with the Padres. Certainly saw a lot of him during spring training.
By the way, very cool name, Dinelson Lamet, 4th-year pro. I was looking at his numbers in the media guide. And granted, minor leagues, but still, over the course of his minor league career, 259 innings, fewer hits, 210. So hey, 3 stops last year, A, AA, AAA. So we'll see the workings of Dinelson Lamet.
6 straight balls thrown here by Matt Harvey, who all of a sudden has got this big lead. He's having trouble throwing strikes. After a 1-2-3 first inning, granted, he had a very long wait.
I remember games like this, Gary Templeton would be airing me out from shortstop right about now.
That's a strike, and it's 2-1.
Come on, Mud, you scared? You scared to throw strikes? Let's go.
Were you afraid at that point to throw strikes?
No, I was just couldn't find the zone. But Tempe, the team captain, he'd be right there trying to light a fire under you.
Renfroe to center field. This is struck pretty well. Granderson going back, looking up. That's going to be off the bottom of the wall. Heading for third is SCHIMPF as Renfroe's into second base with a wall ball double, and it's second and third with nobody out. That ball was crushed. Deepest part of the ballpark out there at 408 to straightaway center field.
Don, you mentioned it. The best thing you can do is just chip away, put together some big hits. Base runners plus a big hit. Base runners plus a big hit. 90 mile an hour, looked like a slider down and away. Some type of off-speed pitch, a little cutter maybe. Ball hit so hard that Granderson had to play it off the wall.
Second and third, nobody out, and CORY SPANGENBERG coming up.
Pitching coach Dan Worthen out to have a word with Matt Harvey.
Walk and a double after a 1-2-3 first inning. Spangenberg at 250 for the home run, 5 runs batted in. And a grounder to first base as Duda will go to first for the out. In from third comes SCHIMPF, and the Padres get their first run of the night. So Spangenberg grounds out but picks up an RBI, his 6th of the year, and Renfroe takes third base on the ground out. So run in with 1 down here in the second inning. Austin Hedges standing in at 215. 8 homers and 20 runs batted in for the Padres catcher. He'll try to deliver that runner from third base as he takes strike 1.
You know, regarding the slider for Matt Harvey, he'll throw 1 good one and then maybe 3 or 4 not so good. If the Padres can capitalize on those bad sliders, I'm not saying hit it out of the park, that'd be nice.
Chop to third. Flores will go to first base as another run scores. Renfroe coming in from third, and the Padres get 2 quick ones back. It's time now for the tools of the trade, brought to you by Ram Trucks.
Matt Harvey, the fastball. If you can connect one, a mistake, yes, you can do some damage. Look at this one. Down the center of the plate, taking it the opposite way. You know, he's got the 95, 96 mile an hour heater, but it's the other stuff that's got to set it up, and he's got to locate. If you get extended, you got a chance to hurt him. Hopefully that's what the Padres are trying to do, not only trailing by 5.
Fastball at 95 for strike 1 to Eric Ibar.
Would there be anything better from the Padres psyche to get Harvey out of the game before the 5th inning? I mean, you talk about taking wind out of your sail.
Opponent slugging against the fastball of Matt Harvey over the years.
Not a good trend.
No.
That means he's missing with location. It doesn't matter how hard you throw. You're going to get crushed. Especially if you rely on it and you can't throw your breaking stuff for strikes. Hitters just sit back and see, spit on the breaking ball. Go to hacking on the fastball.
Two runs in, two down here in the second. And a 1-2 coming up here to Ibar. To center, right where Granderson was standing virtually. He makes the catch out there to end the inning. 2 runs for the Padres, 7-2 Mets after an inning and a half. All right, Mike and Mark, thanks very much. As Jay Bruce leads it off here and grounds one foul outside of first base. Craig Stammen back out there again. The Padres getting 2 runs back in the top half of this, the second inning.
Probably the most important inning for Craig Stammen to throw up a bagel.
Bruce, Walker, and Granderson, 3, 4, and 5. Now Jhoulys Chacín charged with 7 runs in 2/3 of an inning, giving up 8 hits, didn't walk anybody nor did he strike anybody out.
Here's my wish list for this inning. Throw fewer than 12 pitches for Craig Stammen. How about that? That's 3 right there.
He's ahead here, 1 and 2.
And as I mentioned, this Met team does not strike out a lot.
Well, per usual, you may hear the occasional plane.
What's that? I can't hear you. There's a plane going over.
LaGuardia, of course, right here.
That's the 755 to Topeka.
Swing and a miss. And there's a strikeout for Stammen. First out here of the second inning.
Got him with the breaking ball. Threw it early in the count, and he puts him away with that curveball from Craig Stammen. Let's check it out. It's worth another look. That looks like a slider. Big first out.
One down here in the bottom of the second inning, and Neil Walker, the batter. Walker with a single in the first inning, came around to score the 4th Mets run. Stammen has been asked to do this before, and this has been his role so far with the 2017 edition of the San Diego Padres. Let's eat some innings in these type situations. That's a grounder left side. Ibar ranges behind it, throws off balance, and in time. And Walker is out number 2 of the inning. So 2 away, and that'll bring up Curtis Granderson. Last 4 games he has picked it up. 364 with a home run, couple of RBIs for Granderson. We're spending time with both New York teams, the Yankees and the Mets. Skip in for a ball, 1-1 to Granderson.
You know, there is speculation when Cespedes comes back that Granderson might be benched. You know, he's got the low average. Also speculation that, you know, Jay Bruce could move to first base. It's not his natural position, obviously, but to include Granderson in that outfield mix when he comes back.
Now, Granderson, one of only 3 players to play 500 games with 2 New York teams. 500 games with the Mets and 513 with the Yankees. Bounced in, 2-2.
Oh, that was pitch number 12. That was on my wish list, a 12 pitch. Hey, 13 wouldn't be bad either. How about fewer than 15?
Curtis Granderson, 36 years old. Signed through the end of this year with the Mets. 4th season with the Mets. He's broken into the big leagues with the Tigers back in 2004. On the ground to first base, Will Myers will gather it and tag the bag himself to end the inning. Stammen has a 1-2-3 second, 7-2 Mets. At the top of the third we go. We want to remind you the day after the Padres score 5 or more runs, get 50% off any regular menu price online order at papajohns.com. Enter promo code Padres5. Now it is Craig Stammen leading it off here and doing exactly what the Padres need him to do. Walk some innings, and so far done a very good job. He's retired all 4 Mets that he has faced in the game, and 3 groundouts and a strikeout. He's a 198 hitter in his 8th major league season. Pitch 34 from Matt Harvey.
Does Craig Stammen even have his own helmet, or does he have to wear somebody else's?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Trying to see if he's got his number on the back of that helmet. First of all, I think it'd be pretty gross if he wore somebody else's helmet. No, he's got his own, right? 34? Yeah.
You wouldn't be sharing helmets with others. What'd you do?
I don't
Little
share
League?
headsets.
Well, that's true. That's right.
Yeah, Little League was a different story. You didn't know any better.
And there for a strike, full count. Stammen, Margot, and Solarte to bat here in the 3rd inning. That scored all 7 of their runs in the 1st. Padres get 2 back from Matt Harvey in the 2nd. There's a foul off to the right. We'll do it again. 3-2. One hit so far tonight for the Padres. The Hunter Renfroe wall ball double straightaway center field. And that's ball 4. 2nd straight inning that Harvey has allowed a leadoff walk, and this time it's to the Padres pitcher.
MLB.com at bat is your #1 mobile app for live Padres baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get Padres home screen icons and app features, as well as game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today.
So lead runner on, and here is Margot. Take strike 1. He was a strikeout victim in the 1st. He went swinging. Only K of the night so far for Matt Harvey. Guy who generally gets good run support. He's gotten 7 so far in this game, but 5.63 runs a game. That's in the first 8 starts for him, and he comes in individually 2 and 3. So it's been a highly disappointing season so far here for Harvey.
Well, against lefties, throws changeups for strikes almost 70% of the time, and then average proves it 143. He doesn't throw sliders for strikes, 56%. We saw that early on tonight.
To short, Reyes will go to 2nd for 1 on to 1st, and Margot beats it out. They do get a lead runner in Stammen, 6-4 on the force out at 2nd, but Margot with too much speed, able to reach at first base.
Hey, good hard slide into second base from Craig Stammen. He got down just in time. And Margot just beats it out.
So 1 out, 1 on, and it brings up Yangervis Solarte. Popped out to the shortstop first time up. 0 for 1. "11 games in his career against the Mets, .326 average, 3 home runs for Yangervis, who used to call New York home when he was a member of the New York Yankees, were coming to the Padres in the Chase Headley deal. Check swing foul off the bat of Solarte.
Remember that day? Remember when Yangervis joined the club? We were at Chicago's Wrigley Field, and it was like from the get-go, the infectious attitude, the excitement. He just brought it to the ball club in the dugout. You saw it in his play. You saw it in the dugout.
Just a spark plug.
Yeah. Jumper cables.
One ball, 2 strikes. 1 out, runner at first. Solarte now. Will Myers waiting on deck. Padres getting 2 runs back last inning after trailing 7-0. Harvey has slowed it up here with the runner at first. And Solarte pretty aggressive here after a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. That's infield at double play depth with 1 out and 1 on.
You know, regarding Matt Harvey, and you know, there's always pressure when you play in New York, right? I played with a guy by the name of Dennis Rasmussen, a left-handed pitcher. He pitched for the Yankees, and I remember him telling me, you know how usually in sports it's, you know, you're only as good as your last game. Well, in New York, you're only as good as your last pitch. Right?
Absolutely.
It's unbelievable.
Not everybody can pitch on this stage.
Yeah, and there was a lot of expectation for this kid. Injuries, off the field, a number of stuff.
Runner goes, and that's ball 4, pitch down and in, and that is the 3rd walk given up by Harvey. Walking people with a big lead early in this one. Back-to-back innings in which he's walked the leadoff hitter.
There is nothing more that will tick off a manager and a pitching coach. Look at Terry Collins. He's like, really? And this is where the Padres need a big hit. They need a double here. Big fly.
Will Myers flied out to left field, and Michael Conforto in the 1st inning. So 0 for 1 in this one so far as he bats with Margot at second, Solarte at first, 1 out in the 3rd. Big spot here for Myers early in this game.
How sweet would it be to jump on a first pitch and just send it on its way? Hanging slider, fastball. Ball 1 works.
.50 pitches here for Harvey through 2 1/3 innings.
Ball 2 and a dandy.
This will bring Rivera out to the mound. Worthen back to the mound also. Pitching coach been out there a few times now. Curious to know how much different this delivery has been tonight. Said he wanted to change his arm angle by about 6 inches. Whether that has been a factor with all the balls in this game.
You know what, Don, you make a good point, and I can't speak for Matt Harvey, but maybe it's one of those things where he's thinking about it rather than becoming second nature, and that's come into play for pitchers. You know, you talk about hitters maybe changing their hands or their grip or whatever, their stance. It most certainly looks like Harvey's not overthrowing. It's almost like he's on the tentative side, kind of aiming the baseball rather than being aggressive.
Behind again here.
No.
Strike called, and that didn't look like much of a strike. Myers didn't think so either. And hearing it is Bruce Dreckman, the home plate umpire, and he stares into the Padres dugout.
Well, I stand corrected. According to Fox Tracks, that lower corner on the outside part of the plate.
Harvey falling behind here, 3-1 with 1 out Margot at second, Solarte at first. Five 3-ball counts here for Harvey, who's already walked 3. And behind here, 3-1. Myers will foul it back.
Good 3-1 cut. Ball looked like it leaked in a little bit, tying up Wil Myers just a little bit.
Look at a lot of the numbers that are heading in the wrong direction for Matt Harvey. Strikeouts per 9 inning by season.
And we mentioned the average on the fastball is up. The slider is not biting as much as it was back in the day.
Of course, missed 2014 Tommy John surgery. Payoff pitch coming up here. The 3-2 pitch to Myers. It's fouled straight back to the bricks. Back out there again, Rene Rivera. Long inning here for Harvey, who walked the leadoff hitter in Stammen, Padres pitcher. Now he's in the midst of a meeting with himself behind the hill, coming back up top now.
They got to do some damage this inning. It is imperative that the Padres at least score 1 run here.
2 walks in the inning. Seemingly have Harvey on the ropes right now. Payoff pitch coming up to Myers. And Will chops it foul. With the center fielder Curtis Granderson over towards right center. Good size gap out there in left center field. 25th pitch of the inning coming up, and there is action in the pen now. The left-hander Smoker. Swinging a foul tip held onto by the catcher Rivera. Myers strikes out. Second strikeout for Harvey, and there are 2 outs here in the 3rd inning.
Went down for the low fastball. You know, I'm guessing that pitch that splits the heart of the plate, but low. That's tough to lay off. That's too close to take. And Will took a rip at it.
So first and second, 2 down, brings up Ryan Schimpf. He walked his first time up, came around to score the first Padres run. Love Citi Field. We'll take a look at strike 1 as Harvey this time starts off ahead. Harvey trying to pitch his way around 2 walks in the inning. That'll run away on him to even the count at 1-1. '60th pitch of this game for Matt Harvey. And Schimpf will take a look at ball 2.
Hey, not a lot of run on that fastball from Matt Harvey, so we know that Schimpf loves to crush the fastball. He's working that hitter's count. Will Harvey pitch backwards here? Will he throw up a wrinkle or stick to the located fastball?
Schimpf turns on this, but fouls off the curveball off to the right and up into the upper deck. Ryan Schimpf, who's had 30 home runs in his young career, most home runs, first 130 games with the Padres. Phil Plantier 32 in the first 130 games. Ryan Schimpf with 30. Gary Sheffield with 30.
Phil Plantier is one of the most serious uppercuts I've ever seen a player. That type of swing.
2-2 coming here to Schimpf. And he lines it to right, but right at Bruce, who makes the catch out there in right field. Well, Harvey works around 2 walks, 7-2 Mets.
Seven to 2 against the New York Mets. Well, a quick update for you on the injury front. Starting pitcher Trevor Cahill got an MRI for that shoulder inflammation that he had. And guys, some positive news, no structural damage. So Andy Green expects him to be back in about 10 to 14 days.
All right, Michelle, thanks very much. Good news for Trevor Cahill.
Yeah, when healthy, he's one of the, probably the Padres' best pitcher. Need him back in the rotation.
WILMER Flores leading it off here for the Mets. Flores, Duda, and Rivera, 6, 7, and 8 for New York. Last 6 games, he's heated it up. 8 for 18 at 444. And he'll take the strike over the outside corner. More Craig Stammen, who's retired the first 4 Mets that he's faced in the game. In relief of Jhoulys Chacín, who's on the hook after allowing 7 first-inning runs. This one fouled off to the right, and Chacín didn't get out of the first, going 2/3 of an inning.
Well, what Craig is doing so well early on in his outing, he's getting ahead. That evens the count at 2-2, but he threw the good 2-seam fastball, trying to bring it back. Hopefully a swing and miss slider right here.
Flores with a single and an RBI as part of that big first inning for the Mets. Came around to score the 5th Mets run. Payoff pitch here to WILMER Flores. And a grounder softly hit towards short. Ibar on the run. And in time. Flores does not run terribly well. And Ibar able to throw him out for the first out here, the last of the 3rd inning. It's time now for the timeless moment, brought to you by Coors Banquet. And on this date back in 1986, Tony Gwynn. It's a 2-out, 3-run walk-off home run off Mets reliever Jesse Orosco. Give the Padres a 7-4 win.
Jesse Orosco, a former Friar. Played for a lot of teams. Really good career. Jesse Orosco, the left-handed specialist. Hey, he closed out the '86 World Series against the Red Sox. Struck out Marty Barrett.
One down here in the third. Five in a row retired by Stammen since coming into this game, and Lucas Duda with a double and a run scored as part of the first will foul this off. Shifting on the right side are the Padres here on Duda, as they did back in the first inning. His double went to left center field in the first inning, and he was able to knock in 2 runs. 1-2 from Stammen. Lined into left field, taking it the other way with a shift on. He gets himself a 1-out base hit. First base runner to reach here against Stammen. Opposite field hit for Duda.
Well, Duda looks very comfortable at the plate. He's looking out at the defense and thinking, okay, you're going to play that way. I'll just take this ball where it's pitched rather, down and away. Not a lot of movement in that swing. Spanking it to left field for the single. I think Craig Stammen should be able to eat up Rene Rivera with 2 seamers in. Get a ground ball here. You can't run that well and get a double play ball. Don't throw him a slider for a strike.
And Rivera had a base hit his first time up, came around to score the 7th Mets run. That's one high in the air to left field. Cory Spangenberg with room. Makes the catch in front of the warning track for the second out of the third inning. And Duda back to the bag at first with 2 down. Closed captioning for tonight's game is brought to you by Wiener Schnitzel.
Sure.
So 2 down brings up Matt Harvey. Grounded out to third base in the first inning, and now 0 for 18 at the plate this year. Playing Harvey very shallow in the outfield. And WILMER go over towards right center for him to go the other way in center. And you got RENFROE in right, also shallow. Stammen wanted that, but falls behind here 2-0. To center, and Margot out there waiting on it. Will make the catch. It ends the inning. Through 3 tonight in New York, it's 7-2 Mets.
and working woman who is upset, angry that you didn't show up for work.
Well, I understand. I completely understand. It's my job to come here and not only be present, but also put myself in the best position to succeed professionally and on the baseball field, and I didn't do that.
Now, Matt Harvey reacting and dealing with the media after it missed a game here on a Saturday. Ended up with a team suspension of 3 days, comes back and has made 2 starts since, and now his first home start since that all occurred for Matt Harvey. Dealing with Hunter Renfroe. What do you make of that whole situation, man? That's pretty unusual for a guy just not to show.
Got to show up to work. There's been many occasions when teammates of mine have just felt terrible, whatever the situation is.
I've heard a lot of guys late.
Yes. But you got to show up to work. And then if you get the clearance, you check with the trainers, you check with the manager, you check in, okay, what's the deal with Matt Harvey? What's the deal with Don Orsillo? Okay, hey, you know what? You're free and clear to go. You can sleep in the trainer's room if you want, whatever the situation. I don't know what the situation is, but if you want to stay here, fine, but you have clearance to go. The bottom line is you got to show up to work.
Renfroe strikes out looking, 3rd K. An unusual situation, and he's really become somewhat of a lightning rod here. I mean, first of all, you're in New York in the first place, where everything is a very big deal. But you have like something like that happen, it's a pretty big deal here.
You're right. It's magnified here, and it's a tough stage to play on. But with that said, especially nowadays, social media, all the stuff that is out there now. I mean, you are under a microscope, and if you have any type of popularity and you're in the spotlight, there are, you know, I hate to say it, but there are people who are out there to want to try to get you and put you in a bad light. Now, a lot of it's on your own. You make your own bed, but then there's the other side of it too. So, hey, you live and learn, you make a mistake, you move on. We've all made mistakes. I'm not sitting here and saying, you know, we all make mistakes.
One down here in the 4th inning, and Corey Spangenberg ahead in the count 1-0. Harvey missed everything there.
He hit the bull.
Lucky he didn't hit the umpire. Ball's behind, 2-0. There have been spells of wildness. 3 walks through 3 1/3 innings for him.
That last inning really hurt San Diego. You had the top of the order after the walk to Stammen and just couldn't make anything out of it. And stay tuned, we got a game break from the city of brotherly love. Phillies Rocks.
Popped up right side. Duda on the line now, back into fair ground. Will make the catch on Spangenberg. 2 down. 4 in a row retired now by Harvey. And it'll bring up Austin Hedges. Hedges grounded out to 3rd base in the 2nd inning, 0 for 1. Harvey about to throw his 70th pitch of his outing here through 3 2/3 innings. He's not been economical to this point of the game. A lot to do with that wildness that has occurred from time to time, and he falls behind Hedges. Outside corner for strike 1. Harvey, local product of sorts, New London, Connecticut, not far from here. Resides in Mystic, Connecticut, not far from here.
Every time I hear Mystic, I think of Mystic Pizza. Yeah. Julia Roberts, great movie.
It's a beautiful town. On the water. Best season, 2015, was 13-8 after the Tommy John surgery.
Remember Mystic Pizza? Remember the t-shirts that they had with the workers wore? Remember what it said?
No.
Had a slice of the pizza. It said a slice of heaven.
Foul back to the screen, full count. If I'm not mistaken, the only thing I do remember about that was that Julia Roberts was in the movie, right?
How you doing? Yeah.
Okay, so that's about all I got. Who else? You remember?
Yeah. Oh, what's her name?
That's not good. Payoff pitch is fouled off to the right out of play.
Annabeth Gish.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just the 2 of them in the movie?
Just two-person movie. Yep.
4 in a row retired by Harvey. And that's ball 4. Another walk. That's the 4th walk he's given up. This time it's to Hedges.
Wow.
So more walks than strikeouts for Harvey tonight.
Just haven't been able to come up with that big hit to get another run or two across.
And it'll bring up Eric Ibar batting out of the 8 spot. Lined out to center field in the 2nd inning. That'll straighten him up. Pitch inside. Padres have action in the pen as Miguel Diaz starts to warm up out there. We have seen 2 1/3 innings from Craig Stammen so far.
You'll hear the Boo Birds come out too. Harvey falling behind.
There is Miguel Diaz with a watchful eye. Doug Bockler out there in the pen. And here kind of in right center. This is hitting the runner at first base for the out that will end the inning. Wow. Well, when you get some bad luck going, that's what happens. And Ibar hits Hedges between 1st and 2nd. And Harvey gets out of any trouble here in the inning. 7-2. Mets have the lead after 3.5. The bottom of the 4th inning, and it is more Craig Stammen who saw Miguel Diaz warming up out there, but Stammen back on the hill dealing with the top of the order, and Michael Conforto already is 2 for 2 in this game. In fact, he was in the 1st inning with a home run in the 1st after a 10-pitch at bat, and then a 2-run single. So 2 hits, 3 RBIs, all in the 1st. Here he is in the 4th. Strike over the inside corner, and Stammen jumps ahead here 0-2. And again, another great job here by Craig Stammen doing more of this.
And the Padres have had some opportunities to at least get 1 or 2 runs, but they have not been able to push him across. It's exactly what the doctor ordered for Craig.
Fly ball center field, hit pretty well. Margot going back, looking up, and it is gone. Michael Conforto has gone deep for the second time tonight. Homered in the first, homers in the fourth, and the Mets take an 8-2 lead.
Well, that hurts even more, being an 0-2 pitch to Conforto. Pulling the home run early in the ball game to lead off. That's a breaking ball that he stays on and drives it to center field. Kid's unbelievable.
So 3 hits, 4 RBIs, 2 home runs for Conforto. That's adding on to their lead on top 8-2. Second career multi-home run game for Michael Conforto. Left center, Margot will get there. Kind of bending away from him. Off the bat of Reyes, slapped out in that direction, but Reyes retired for the first out here of the 4th inning. So that run, a home run by Conforto, the first run allowed by Stammen. Chassin had been charged with the first 7. And it brings up Jay Bruce. Bruce 1 for 2 in the game. A single run scored in the first, struck out swinging in the second. Late swing, and he fouls it off outside of third. Bruce, 30 years old, from Beaumont, Texas, as he jumps back out of the way. Second season here with the Mets. Prior to this year, had spent his entire career with the Cincinnati Reds, breaking to the big leagues in 08, and then spending part of last year with the Reds and the Mets. 50 games with the Mets, 57 games with the Reds.
You know, he was that guy year after year after year that his name was bandied about, to where he was going to get traded or not at the deadline.
Finally happened.
Yeah.
Evens up at 2-2 to Jay Bruce. It's a big home run seasons with the Cincinnati Reds. 34 home runs for the Reds in 2012, 30 in 2013. Swing and a miss, and Stammen strikes him out. Second time that Stammen has struck out Jay Bruce. Down by way of the K here in the 4th inning.
A good sharp breaking ball out of the hand of Craig Stammen.
So 2 down and nobody on here for Neil Walker. A single, scored a run, and grounded out to shortstop. Down 0-2. Walker coming over to the Mets in December of 2015. Deal that involved the starting pitcher Jonathan Neese, after spending his entire career with the Pittsburgh Pirates. It'll bounce in for ball 1, 1-2. It was a first-round draft choice, 11th overall by the Pirates in 2004. Was a Pirate from 2009 through 2015. Year 2 with the Mets for Neil Walker. Lined, and that'll get into right center field. 2-out base hit for Walker. He has his second hit of the night.
Well, the former Bucko and the kid who was born in Pittsburgh wearing the black and gold for so many years. He fights this one off. 92 two-seamer. Getting those hands through quickly. You can even tell by the sound of that one. Down by the handle. Down by the label.
So 2 down. Walker at first base. Will Myers will hold him on. Padres go into a shift defensively on the right side. And first Granderson. Granderson with a sacrifice fly back in the first inning. Picked up his 16th RBI of the year. They grounded out to first base in the second inning. That sent 11 men to bat in the first inning and scored 7 times. Batted a run since. This grounder, Myers on the backhand will take it to the bag himself and end the inning. But another run for the New York Mets. Another home run for Michael Conforto. His second of the night gives New York an 8-2 lead.
Watch video on him, potential to play shortstop. We'll see how he looks when he gets out there. He's also a guy who hasn't been on a competitive game since May 9th, so he's got a couple weeks off. We'll give him a couple days to, get his feet under him, take some ground balls. But also, if a double switch comes up, we won't hesitate to use him. But he's a guy that could bounce around the field. He's a guy that could play some shortstop, and he's a guy that's, athleticism's always been intriguing to this organization.
Well, here he is. Chase d'Arnaud in his debut with the Padres. Batting in the pitcher spot here to lead it off in the 5th inning. Very versatile guy, and looking forward to this opportunity with the Padres. We talked to him a lot on the flight, making our way here to New York, and he's excited about this opportunity.
Very personable kid as well. Great personality. He's a musician. He's talented as an athlete. Anxious to be in a Padre uniform.
Swinging a foul tip. His grandfather lives in La Jolla, plans on staying with him. Was with the Red Sox and designated for assignment, claimed off waivers by the Padres, and here he is. Pinch hitting in the 5th with the Padres trailing 8-2.
And you always have to have those extra P's laying around in the equipment room for Spencer Dolan, because you need the upside down P to start his last name with d'Arnaud on the jersey.
Two is on the outside corner for strike 3. That was the 4th strikeout for Matt Harvey, and there's one away here in the 5th.
Harvey going down and away with that fastball for the strikeout. And there's the upside down P. Right there for the Darno.
So 1 out here in the 5th, and Manuel Margot ahead in the count 1-0. Check swing. Did he go? They'll check. No, he did not. Says Mike Everett, first base umpire and crew chief of this crew. That outside corner, that's what he did to Darno with success. He's falling behind Margot, 3-1. Check swing, did he go? He's going to say it's a foul tip, so full count, strike anyway. According to Bruce Dreckman, and no argument there from Manuel Margot. For Margot to go the other way, Curtis Granderson well over into right center. And he tries to go that way, but fouls it off to the right out of play.
Yeah, one thing we've noticed over the course of Manuel being in the leadoff spot, that's what he needs to do. Take the pitches the opposite way, turn on the certain pitches, the slow breaking balls. If he can get into one of those gaps, get away from Granderson.
Pop up foul, nothing doing though. That'll end up behind the dugout. Fair amount of foul ground first and third, but you get beyond that, it really shortens up. Not much at all down the right field and left field lines, but at least first to third anyway, there is some foul ground here by the dugouts. Very little when you get down where the box seats jet out. Fly ball down the right field line. Jay Bruce headed over towards the seats, and he leaps and can't make the catch. Thought he had a chance. A foul ball down there.
Don, that's exactly what you were just talking about.
No room down there in foul ground.
Let's see if a fan reaches over. He sure does. Does he touch the ball?
Did he block the view of Bruce? Kind of turned his head there like he couldn't see it.
Good call.
Another chance for Manuel Margot. Fouls it back again, and the battle continues. And nothing else driving up this pitch count for Matt Harvey at 93 pitches right now.
Well, this is the inning to, it's the third time around. Hopefully the Padres can get base runners and come up with that one big hit to get into that bullpen.
10th pitch of the at bat, and Margot cues it foul. Struck out swinging in the first, grounded into a fielder's choice in the third, and getting his third look tonight at Matt Harvey. Swing and a miss, and Harvey ends up striking him out on a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Back-to-back Ks for Harvey, 5 in all.
He just challenged him there. Count full, right down the middle, 93, maybe a little outer half.
So 2 down brings up Yangervis Solarte, who has popped out to short and walked in 2 plate appearances tonight against Harvey. This could be a 5 and fly situation here tonight for Matt Harvey with the pitch count where it is.
Good call. Tell you what, sometimes within the baseball world, that's not a good label to have when you're a pitcher who's a 5 and fly guy, right? Because you go 5, you're on the ledger side of the win, but you're only going 5. And there are guys who, throughout the course of history of baseball, have fallen into that category.
Line down the right field line, foul.
Are you a 5 and fly guy?
No.
You're here for all 9?
Yeah, I'm here for all 9. Everyday guy.
Bonus baseball too?
Bonus baseball, whatever's required, I'm here.
That's why you're a dependable starter.
Game in, game out.
Josh Edgen heating up, the left-hander for the Mets.
There's a fly ball, shallow right center, and it's falling fast, in for a hit. Solarte with a base hit between Neil Walker, the second baseman, heading out, and Curtis Granderson, the center fielder, coming in. And a 2-out hit for Solarte here in the 5th inning. That is the 3rd hit of the night for the Padres.
This is fighting one off, and it's about time that the Padres get a break here, as the Mets found some holes early on. Harvey missing with location, wanted it down away. It's up and out of the reach of Walker and Granderson to extend the inning.
So 2 down, Solarte at first, and Will Myers the batter. On the ground, a foul ball, the indication, and boy, was that close. At least from where we sit. But right on it. Ryan Blakeney, third base umpire, standing on the line. So strike 1. Pitch 101 is up high.
Well, the ideal thing here, one swing, cut the lead in half.
Elevated, Myers chased.
See, the velocity's down for Harvey as well. Remember, he was touching 96, 97 earlier. 95, 96, now 92, 93. Straight fastball. Square one up.
One, 2 to Myers. On the outside corner for strike 3. Matt Harvey strikes out the side. Halfway through, 8-2 Mets. Padres baseball brought to you by your San Diego County Lexus dealer. Invites you to test drive a Lexus today. And by Sequan Casino. Play, win together in the heart of San Diego. And by Honda. Great deals are waiting for you now at your local Honda dealer. Freedom Tower here in New York as we play along to the home half of the 5th inning. Mets enjoy an 8-2 lead. Padres bring on their 3rd pitcher of the game. It's Miguel Diaz.
Well, Craig Stammen did a fine job Now turn it over to Miguel Diaz, his 18th game, the high numbers. Yeah, he runs into some wildness and some big hits here and there. He needs to hone in those crosshairs and throw quality strikes. Hold the Mets at 8.
WILMER, Flores leading it off here for New York.
And the Mets hitters, Don, are going to have to turn up the dial against the hard-thrown right-hander Diaz.
Flores 1 for 2, RBI single, all part of that 7-run first inning. Yeah, Craig Stammen 3 1/3, 3 hits, 1 run, the home run by Conforto. Didn't walk anybody, struck out 2. Another spectacular job out of the pen, quieting the offense and logging some innings. There's a pop-up, foul ground. Hedges, Myers, Hedges dives and makes the catch. Austin Hedges laying it out, makes the grab in foul ground. That's some kind of play, Austin.
Running with all that gear, and then the final dive, great extension. That's a huge out for Miguel Diaz. Will Myers was out of the picture. He wasn't getting to it. Perfectly executed, flawless. That's not easy to do running in that gear now.
Will dust himself off. Great grab there. 1 out here in the 5th. Lucas Duda, the batter. He is 2 for 2, a double and a single, driven in 2 runs on the night. To right field, Renfroe moving over. Will make the catch for out number 2. Gonna bring up Rene Rivera with 2 away here. Diaz going to try and do what Stammen did. Log some innings here for the Padres out of the pen. And always tough when your starter only goes 2/3 of an inning, and that was the case here tonight with Jhoulys Chacín. Rivera 1 for 2 and a single to right field in the first inning.
Still amazed by that catch by Austin. You're in the crouch, you're putting the signs, you're concentrating on catching the pitch. There's a swing. Now you got to recognize where the ball is. You've got to get out of that crouch, dead sprint, lay out, and make the play. That's big league, my man.
On the ground, diving at first is Myers. He'll race to the bag and tag it. Some defense turned in here by the Padres in the 5th inning. Austin Hedges with a great play over by the Mets dugout, laying it out. Get ready for the Michael Conforto show. It was a home run after a 10-pitch at bat in the first inning. Then he comes up again in the first inning and drives in 2 runs, all part of a 7-run first for the Mets. And Conforto comes up in the 4th inning after Chacin had been chased and takes Craig Stammen deep. His 2nd home run of the game. 4 RBIs on 3 hits for Conforto. It's an 8-2 Mets lead, and Chacin chased after 2/3 of an inning, allowing 8 hits and 7 earned runs. Meanwhile, Harvey going just 5 innings and throwing 103 pitches, allowing 2 runs. Michael Conforto with a big ball game here for the Mets. So it's 8-2 New York. As we play along, inning number 6. And leading it off is Ryan Schimpf. High fly ball to deep right field off the bat. It's Schimpf back at the wall, and that ball is gone. Ryan Schimpf with his 11th home run of the year, and a couple here last year at Citi Field, and takes one out of the yard here tonight.
First pitch, Hackett. Get the foot down. Hands are back. This town's full of money grabbers. Go ahead, bite the big apple, Ryan Schimpf. Don't mind the maggots.
The smoker comes into the game, and the first pitch he throws goes out of the yard.
It's a smoker off the bat of Schimpf, I'll tell you that.
In relief of Matt Harvey, and now Renfroe will take the strike, and it's 0-2.
Smoker with the 4-seamer. 95, 96. Mostly 4-seam fastballs, sliders, and split-fingered fastballs.
Renfroe will strike out here. That's 7 strikeouts for Mets pitching. First for Smoker. The changes for the Mets. Lagares has taken over in center field. And Granderson moving from center field to right field. As part of a double switch here, it looks like, for the Mets. At the pitcher spot leading off in the bottom half of this inning. So that makes sense. Curveball that'll miss for ball 1. Cory Spangenberg 0 for 2 in the ball game. He was grounded out to first and popped out to first. And that one gets a big piece of Bruce Dreckman, home plate umpire. Right off the shoulder.
Boy, that didn't even get gloved, did it? If it did, it hit it not by a lot. That was straight out of the hand. Rivera looked like he got his glove up. Whether it hit the glove or not, I'm not so sure, but that's, even though you're wearing shoulder pads, that hurts.
Spangenberg trying to get confirmation here. The scoreboard has it at 1-1, and it's 2-0. I guess they thought that perhaps Spangenberg had foul tipped that off the shoulder, and the umpire, Bruce Dreckman, saying it was not a foul tip. Went straight off my shoulder. I know. 2-0 pitch is in there for a strike, and it's 2-1. Two and 2. Now look at Josh Smoker's numbers in his 16th appearance of the year. 7.88 earned run average.
Well, you can see why the strikeouts are there. A strikeout per innings pitched, but the walks are up as well. Boy, this kid likes to get the ball, and he likes to get up on that hill and go to work quickly.
Lefty here dealing with a lefty in Cory Spangenberg, who's 0 for 2 in the game, but did pick up an RBI and a ground out in the second. There's a ground ball right side. Walker slides to his left. 2 down in the 6th inning. We'll bring up Austin Hedges. Hedges has grounded out to third and walked, also picking up a run on a ground out. Now 21 RBIs on the year for Hedges.
There's that splitty from Smoker.
So Harvey, 5 innings, 3 hits. He ends up giving up 2 runs. He walked 4 and struck out 6. Mentioned the 103 pitches in 5 innings, so he did not go very deeply into this game. Departs the pitcher of record, did go the minimum eligible to make himself pitcher of record. Swing and a miss, and Smoker able to strike out Hedges to end the inning. But Ryan Schimpf begins the 6th inning with a home run to right field. His 11th home run of the year. It's now 8-3 Mets after 5.5 from New York. It's Michael Conforto who is on deck and has already had a tremendous game. Highest slugging percentage this season, .664. Freddie Freeman is currently on the DL, leading in that category for the Atlanta Braves, and some pretty impressive names on there. And of course, the addition this year of Eric Thames with the Milwaukee Brewers. Conforto tonight with 2 home runs, 4 runs driven in, and he'll bat second in the order. Matt Reynolds is leading it off here for the Mets. Jay Bruce has left this game with back tightness. So an injury for Jay Bruce. Diaz, second inning of relief. 1-2-3 5th inning, and back out there for inning number 6. Outfield playing for Reynolds to go the other way. He fouls it off at the plate to even the count at 2-2. Now Conforto and Reyes scheduled to bat here in this bottom of the 6th inning for New York. Swing and a miss and a breaking ball away, and the first strikeout for Diaz. One down here in the inning, and Michael Conforto coming up. He homered in the first inning after a 10-pitch at bat. Takes Chacin out of the yard, and that opened the gates up for a 7-run inning. Then he would homer off Stammen in the 4th inning. This one to center field, 1 to right, 1 to center. 2 home runs in this game, his 2nd multi-home run game of his career.
And both breaking balls. The one breaking ball from Chacin, he pulls. The other one off of Stammen stayed on it a little bit more. It looked like a bigger breaking ball from Stammen, and he took it just left of the apple, straight away center field. That's impressive.
So kind of creating his own power.
Yes. #1 pick back in 2014. He's only 24 years old. He's paying dividends big time now for the Mets. Big time.
Diaz falls behind here, 2-1 to Conforto. 3 hits, 4 RBIs. 13 home runs down the year for Conforto, leadoff hitter for the Mets. 2-2. Changeup that time had him off balance. Changeup at 88 for Diaz.
That's going to be a big pitch for Diaz to master that one.
Yanked the fastball down and in at 97.
A fastball in, move him away. How about a changeup down and away?
There's a grounder down the first baseline, a fair ball, and Myers will tag the bag for out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down here in the 6th inning, 5 in a row retired by Diaz. That'll bring up Jose Reyes. Reyes with a single back in the 1st inning. Grounded out also in the 1st inning, and then lined out to center in the 4th. That sent 11 men to bat in the 1st, scored 7 times. Reyes in the air to right field. Renfroe going back at the wall. He will make the catch in front of the wall on the warning track out there and right. Miguel Diaz appreciates the effort by Renfroe. Didn't have much more room to work with out there in right field. A lot of nooks and crannies out there in right field he got to deal with. And he was able to make the catch right in front of the wall. To the 7th we go. Baseball brought to you by GMC and by Petco, your complete pet store with all the nutrition supplies and services you need. Back in New York City, where the Padres and Mets open up a 3-game series. Mets with an 8-3 lead move on to their third pitcher of the night, as Paul Sewald comes into the game here, the right-hander. Sewald taking over for Josh Smoker, went an inning, giving up a run, and Sewald into his 11th game of the year for the Mets. Eric Ibar takes a hack at the first pitch and fouls it off down the left field line.
Sewald is basically, he's got 4 pitches. He'll throw all 4 of them. The 4-seamer, the sinker, the change, and the slider. Low 90s. He's got to rely on location, not overpowering by any means. Kind of a low 3/4 type guy.
Coming in here with a 5-run lead in the 7th inning. Strike over the outside corner. Carlos Suaje just called up by the Padres today. He waits on deck. He would bat in the pitcher's spot here in this 7th inning. There is Suaje. Andy Green trying to get him some playing time right away.
Yeah, I think you know, managers like to do that. They like to get guys in, not sit on the bench the whole game. Obviously, you'd like to be in the winning side of a ball game, but get him an at bat, get him an inning if it's a pitcher.
Andy Green, a former Met, coming back here as the manager of the San Diego Padres. 2-2 is on the ground down the first baseline. That will go foul.
You know, I don't know whether I was talking to you about this or Jesse Agler, but as a player, you know, I was fortunate enough to play in 6 different teams. I always wanted to play one season or more, whether it was with the Yankees or with the Mets, just to experience the New York thing. Just never got the chance to, but I always loved coming here as a visiting player, playing at those venues, Yankee Stadium, the old Yankee Stadium.
To first, and Duda, the good pick on the backhand, retires Ibar for the first out of the inning. Now, you told me before the game that you really like Shea Stadium.
I love Shea Stadium. Big fan. Very dated.
Yes, it is.
They didn't drop $1 into that place, I think, the last 5 years, once they knew they were going to get this venue. But you were closer to the action. I remember the foul balls that used to fire back. You had to be heads up.
You could get them.
It got loud, and plus it had a lot of character, too. I mean, let's face it, the Beatles played there.
Yeah, it was pretty
Broadway
cool.
Joe dropped back and for the Jets, right? Played at Shea.
All true.
Yes. And I just liked it. I really did.
I've never seen a booth that had more wires that were connected to nothing.
At Shea?
Yes. I mean, there was like 1,000 wires by my feet, and you'd go to grab one, and it would just come out. There was nothing it was connected to. They just left wires there. It was unbelievable. I was not a fan of Shea Stadium.
No, really?
No, I didn't like it.
Oh, I liked it.
It was just round and round.
It was. You're right there. I like the scoreboard they had there. That was very cool.
I like Citi Field. I like it here. I do like the old Yankee Stadium, though.
Yes.
Fouled off to left out of play. The reason I like the old Yankee Stadium better than the new Yankee Stadium is because the old Yankee Stadium, the top tier, the upper deck hung over the lower deck, and the crowd sound was just unbelievable. Now this stadium, like the new Yankee Stadium, the top deck is pushed back.
I don't understand that.
You lose that sound and that buzz in the ballpark. Walker throws out Suaje for out number 2 here in the 7th inning.
You know what I'm a big fan of?
What's that?
Like the way the old Tiger Stadium was built.
Absolutely.
Sportsman's Park in St. Louis.
Yep.
Even Wrigley Field. The upper deck kind of hung over more towards the bottom. Yep. I just think it makes it more of an intimate field.
Absolutely.
Like St. Louis, if you look at the way the field seats are and then the second deck, it's pushed way back.
Yep. Well, you saw Toronto last year. How far back is that in the upper deck? I mean, you are, even in the lower deck, you're far. This is line to left field and a base hit for Manuel Margot.
Here's what I'm talking about. Like here's the field seats right here, correct? Now I think if I'm building a ballpark, this second deck here, this part here is coming here. To where it's like that.
The old Yankee Stadium.
Maybe even a little closer. So where if you know, and if you're sitting underneath here, as long as you can see the whole field, who cares if you can't see a fly ball? If it's hit a towering fly ball.
And it makes the seats up top even better.
Absolutely.
Now you're just further. Harvey Solarte, who has popped out short, has walked and singled, so it's been on twice in the game. But there was something about the buzz of the old Yankee Stadium that kind of lost, and I don't get me wrong, I like the new Yankee Stadium. Have you done a game there yet?
Have not.
No. This one is fouled back. I'll tell you the only thing I didn't like about the old Yankee Stadium. The booth was so small that our high home cameraman Mike, who is sitting to my left right now, he shot the open as he does here. But because he had no space in the old Yankee Stadium booth, he literally shot the open from about 4 inches from your face. So it was an extreme close-up, which of me is not a good thing. I mean, it was right in Donnie's grill. The 1-2 is lined to center field and a base hit for Solarte. Margot will advance to second base. And with 2 outs here, Padres have something going in the 7th.
And this is exact part of the lineup that the Padres want to do some damage. They've had some opportunities to try to chip away. Does he stay on the breaking ball? You bet he does. Sewell tries to backdoor the slider. And Jan Hervis takes it right back where it came from.
Worthen has worn out a path to the mound. He's been out there a ton.
I was just going to say he's getting his running in for tonight.
Yes, he is. If he's got the fat bit on, the Fitbit, then he's probably almost reached 10,000 steps.
That'd be actually kind of funny if he went out there and he actually showed his fat bit. He goes, hey, look at, there's too many steps. Too many steps on my fat bit.
I'm already over my day's goal. Let's go.
By the way, Dan Worthen, a good egg. He was my pitching coach in Seattle in 1992. I love the guy.
2 on, 2 down. And Will Myers here with a chance. He has flied out to left and struck out twice. Strike 1. Matt Harvey went the first 5 innings. Pitcher of record gave up 2 runs. Josh Smoker an inning, gave up a run, and now Paul Sewell trying to get out of this inning. Got the first 2 outs, but has given up back-to-back base hits to Margot and Solarte, and jumps ahead of Myers 0-2.
Well, that was the pitch there. 90 elevated down the middle of the plate. How's this for analytical? You like that?
That's some of your best stuff.
Yeah.
You break it down like that.
I was going to say, now he's going to try to make him fish for something a little wrinkled down and away. And we know that Will, when he's going hot, man, he can wear out right center field. If he can get something down and away, drive it that way.
There's Margot at second, Solarte at first. 2 down here in the Padres 7th inning. Swing and a miss, and Myers has struck out for the 3rd time tonight. Padres strand a pair and trail 8-3. Bottom of the 7th inning. It's time now for the San Diego fan of the game. Got the Brown going here in New York. And the Padres fans here in attendance. So far, not enjoying the score as the Mets would score 7 times in the first inning.
One of my favorite things here at New York, Shea Stadium, and they carried it over here to Citi Field. 7th inning stretch time. They played Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Then they followed that up by Lazy Mary by Lou Monte. And everybody gets, hey, Hunter Pence is here. Welcome, Hunter. Anyway, it's a great tradition here in New York. Lazy Mary. Love it.
Kirby Yates checking into the game for the Padres. 4th arm of the ninth for Andy Green.
Well, got to hold them at 8. That's been the MO of this bullpen. After that first inning, only 1 run. That was the home run off the bat of Michael Conforto. Other than that, smooth sailing, and hopefully Kirby Yates continues the trend.
A great job by Miguel Diaz. 2 shutout innings, retired all 6 Mets he faced. He's really starting to settle in. The bullpen has only allowed the 1 run. Stammen and Diaz combined for 5 1/3, only allowing 3 hits and the 1 run. 3 strikeouts between them. Harris batting for the first time. He took over in center field, moving Granderson from center to right, with Jay Bruce coming out of the game with back tightness. To left, and that's going to get in for a base hit. Spangenberg playing it on a hop, but Lagares and a base hit in his first at bat of the night. Now it's time for the Unlimited Baseball break, brought to you by T-Mobile. Well, Charlie Blackmon, 2 home runs tonight. 8th career 2-home run game. Did that against the Phillies. 8-1 in the 8th inning. The Rockies with the lead. 15th home run of the season for Mike Trout. 7 in the last 11 games. And an 11-game hitting streak is right now the longest active streak in Major League Baseball for Yadier Molina, facing Clayton Kershaw and the Dodgers tonight. This is grounded foul. Mike Trout all of a sudden has found his power again.
You know what? If that kid stays healthy, which baseball needs, obviously, the numbers he's going to put up.
A lot of talk here with the Angels here against the Mets, and it was a bases loaded situation with him coming up.
Oh, yeah.
And Terry Collins actually thought about walking him with the bases loaded. We saw that happen to Perry Bonds in the prime of his career a few times. It almost happened here against the Mets. He did not opt to do that. Ended up Trout hit a sac fly to right. 1 run came in, but it was a thought for Terry Collins.
You know what? It was Buck Showalter, the Arizona Diamondbacks, that did that to Barry Bonds. Hey, we'll give you 1. We're not going to take the chance of possibly 4.
Could have been, and the thing was, there were no outs. That's the other issue. It could have been the beginning of a huge inning.
Right.
Neil Walker, 2 for 3, single in the first, single in the 4th inning. Third innings for Kirby Yates in a Padres uniform, and he's been very good. Swing and a miss, and 95 on the fastball. Strikes out Neil Walker. First out here at the bottom of the 7th inning. Time now for the Bill Howe play of the game, and Austin Hedges had to run a long way for this foul pop up over by the on deck circle on the Mets side of things and lay it out on the warning track. Makes the grab in foul ground.
You know what the great thing is about being a catcher is that you can dive like that with that equipment on and just eat that crushed brick on the warning track and not even think twice about it. You're protected with that chest protector, those knee pads, shin guards.
The only issue is that he may have gone in face first, which was unprotected because he got rid of the mask.
Yeah.
So he did run that risk. Here's Granderson. It's a high fly ball to right. Playable for Hunter Renfroe. 2 down in the inning.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the San Diego Padres and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
Two down. Lagares at first base, and it brings up WILMER FLORES.
Is that too fast of a read?
I thought it was kind of quick.
Was it?
There were some rules I didn't understand in the middle.
I was rushing myself?
Yeah. A high strike call that time. Single knocked in a run in the first inning. 11 men batted for the Mets in the first inning, scored 7 times, and Chase Jolice seen from this game after just 2/3 of an inning.
I've got a by the way for you.
Okay.
By the way, Kirby Yates is the brother of Tyler Yates. Remember, he pitched for the Mets briefly in 04 and with the Atlanta Braves a couple years, and the Pittsburgh Pirates, former pitcher. Tyler Yates, a right-hander as well.
Retired now.
Retired. He and Kirby are brothers.
On the ground up the middle and diving. It's under the glove of Solarte into center. WILMER FLORES with a base hit. Lagares takes second base, and the Mets have 2 on with 2 down.
Well, the Mets have found some holes tonight early on. This one just out of the reach of Jan Hervis. Does it go under his glove? Well, it looked like it went under his glove a little bit, but a good effort.
So 2 down, 2 on, and Lucas Duda coming up. 2 hits, 2 RBIs. The hits a double and a single for the Mets first baseman. Kirby Yates have been claimed off waivers by the Padres end of April from the Angels.
Pretty good for the Mets, huh, with RISP tonight?
Indeed. They have another opportunity here in the last of the 7th inning. Ball 2 strikes here to Duda.
You know what's great about here at Citi Field? The fans are like right next to us right here. There's this woman with a Met helmet full of ice cream. I was wondering if she's going to finish it. Are you going to finish that, sir?
They're confused by you. This is into right field for a base hit. Around from second base comes Lagares. Throw will go to third. Run will score, but that'll be the 3rd out of the inning. The run does count at the plate, as the Mets add a run and take a 9-3 lead through 7. All right, Mike and Mark, thanks very much. Back here at Citi Field in New York as Ryan Schimpf will lead it off. Jerry Blevins, the new pitcher, into the ball game. And the lefty will get a strike in there to Ryan Schimpf. Fourth arm used tonight for Terry Collins.
26th game for the left-hander. It's been around a while. Four-seam and changeup. Throws a cutter and a curveball. Jerry Blevins.
Now Ryan Schimpf worked a walk in the second inning, came around to score the first Padres run. Then he hit a solo home run in the 6th inning. Wrapped around a line out to right, so 1 for 2 night. Swing and a miss, and Schimpf strikes out. First out of the 8th inning. Tomorrow night, game 2 of this 3-game series from New York, and Jared Cozart will be on the mound. 1-1 with a 2.70 earned run average for Cozart as he makes his return to the Padres. And Zellman on the mound tomorrow night for the Mets. Pitcher started at 4 o'clock.
Jared was impressive. He came back off the DL. Remember that? He worked a solid 5 innings.
We're going to go deeper tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hunter Renfroe batting with 1 out in the inning. Zellman 2-3 beyond the mound, his 11th appearance, 8th start for the Mets. And that'll be game 2.
There's that change up from Blevins. Fastball away.
Line the other way down the right field line. A fair ball headed towards the corner. Renfroe headed towards second base as Granderson will get it back in, but not before Renfroe stands at second with a 1-out double. So Renfroe's second double of the night. Well, the Padres have a runner at second with 1 away in the 8th.
Well, he stays on that ball nicely. The head is down and not trying to pull that baseball, going the opposite way.
1 out, 1 on, and CORY Spangenberg coming up. Spangenberg 0 for 3 in the game, has grounded out twice and popped out.
You know, remember I mentioned the fans are so close here at Citi Field?
Yeah.
I've just discovered they're very nice. Remember I commented on the couple's plastic helmets with the ice cream in it?
Yeah, you wanted some of theirs.
I was saying, are you going to finish that? Kind of poking some fun at them? Guess what?
This gentleman has brought us 2.
This fine lady below us. Give us a wave. Wave.
There she is.
She was so kind to bring us ice cream. You are so sweet. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Thank you.
Oh, and this will get eaten for sure.
Of course, you want the one with the most in it, right?
That would be the one closest to me. I think it was intended for me.
That is so sweet of her, isn't it?
That's very, very nice. I thought initially they were afraid of you, but apparently that's not the case.
You know what? So sweet.
Two-one pitch coming up here. And Spangenberg will take it for a strike.
I will never refuse ice cream in a helmet.
No. And looks like Donnie got the bigger one.
Isn't that so nice of her, though?
That's outstanding. No, I'll give you this one if you'd like.
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
All right.
Keep that weight up.
Okay. Swing and a miss, and Spangenberg strikes out for the second out. This will be fun. We're going to review our keys to the game.
Well, the Metropolitans got off to a hot start. Don't let Harvey off the hook. He went 5. He flew after 5, 3 hits, a couple of earned runs. And Michael Conforto, he's swinging the bat the best. He's the best net right now, 3 for 4 with a couple of home runs. He drove in 4.
And Terry Collins headed out there with 2 outs, and Austin Hedges coming up. Looks like that'll be the night for Jerry Blevins. So 9-3, Mets have the lead. The pitching change here from Citi Field in New York.
The Padres for the first 5 home victories in June. Padres 5-win passes are only $99, and you receive a ticket for every June home game until the team has 5 home victories. Details and passes available at Padres.com/5-win-pass.
Changes here for the Mets as Fernando Salas coming into the game here with 2 down, runner at second base into his 23rd game of the year.
Well, with the righty coming up, Terry Collins, even with the 8-3, make that 9-3 lead. He's going with the matchups late here in this game. Get some guys some work as well, probably.
New first baseman TJ Rivera now into the game. And a pop-up foul off to the right out of play. So Lucas Duda coming out of the game after a big game. 3 hits, 3 RBIs.
By the way, I want to thank Deborah Kerr. That's the woman who was so kind to buy Donnie and I dessert tonight.
Very, very nice.
Very sweet. She's sitting right below us, about maybe 5-6 rows.
Austin Hedges tonight has grounded out, walked, and struck out. Ground out in the second, picked up an RBI. And now has 21 on the year. Popped up, foul ground. Rene Rivera coming back, but he won't have a play. So Jerry Blevins departs after 2/3 of an inning. Gives up the 1 hit. Still responsible for Hunter Renfroe at second base, so he allowed the double too. Didn't walk anybody and struck out 2 batters. 11 strikeouts for Mets pitching in the ball game tonight. This one fouled off, hangs at 1-2. Swinging a foul tip, and that's strike 3. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning, 9-3 Mets.
finish over 500. That was incredible.
Yeah, we were thinking playoffs. We were the hottest team in the league. We had the ability to run and gun and score a lot of points.
Tonight on Inside San Diego Sports, we look back at the San Diego Clippers with some of the coaches and players. That's tonight after Padres Live right here on Fox Sports San Diego. If I could editorialize, I wish San Diego had an NBA team. How cool would that be?
It would be cool.
Go downtown during the offseason and watch a little NBA action.
Brad Hand becomes pitcher number 5 of the night for the Padres. 21st appearance of the year for him. And dealing with Rene Rivera leads it off here for the Mets. Kirby Yates went an inning, giving up 3 hits and a run. Didn't walk anybody and struck out a batter. Waves at that pitch, badly fooled by Hand. Three Mets on top, adding a run in the last half of the 7th. In the dirt, and it kicks off Hedges. Chassin started this game for the Padres. Lasted only 2/3 of an inning, giving up 7 runs in the first. And since then, we've seen Stammen, Diaz, Yates, and now Hand. And that is just off the outside edge. And Rivera hitting at .308 so far in the season. And he takes strike 3. So Hand strikes him out to begin things here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Back to what Brad Hand normally does, and that's strikeout hitters.
And you know, that's what the breaking ball will do to hitters. You got that in the back of your mind, then you freeze fastball by him for the strikeout. Nice sequence of pitches right there by Brad Hand. As we look at Rivera, look at the glove of Hedges. Yeah, he threads the needle right in the inside part of the plate.
So 1 out, and here is TJ Rivera.
Hey, what would happen if I asked Miss Deborah Kerr for a bone-in ribeye medium with some like mashed potatoes? You think she'd bring it up to us? Hey, Deborah!
You're going backwards.
Deborah, how about a bone-in ribeye medium? Mashed potatoes. Broccoli.
You started with dessert. You probably should have started with the entree. You messed up. Tomorrow night, maybe Deborah could, maybe Deborah's a season ticket holder.
She could not have been nicer. And you know what? When I said no, I was just kidding. She gave me like the bottom fat lip, like, "Oh, you were kidding? No, I would do it for you."
She went and did it.
I know.
And she brought one for your fat friend.
There she is.
It was very nice of her to bring me one too. I wasn't even asking.
Yeah, I know.
This is zipped inside.
Go ahead, dig in.
No, I have to call game. 1-2. It's popped up foul off to the right, out of play. One out, last of the 8th inning, Brad Hand.
You know what's interesting about this Mets performance tonight? Now, we talked about the injuries, the New York mess right before the game started, and this offense that they're putting out without Cespedes, and how much he changes a lineup, both in and out of it.
Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt, and that's back-to-back Ks for Brad Hand. 2 down here in the 8th. It's time now for our Corals Jr. star of the game.
The what? What is it called again?
Michael Conforto, with not 1 but 2 home runs, is our Carl's Jr. star of the game.
You know, that's the key to the game. Keep the apple in its place, right?
Two down, Michael Conforto.
You know, I'm surprised they didn't do here at City.
What's that?
And I'm upset. Remember the old Chase? They had the top hat. They had the apple come out of the top hat, and it said home run on it. They didn't do that here.
No, but they brought the apple. That's good
yeah,
enough.
but it's a bigger apple. But they used to have the top hat, and that was very cool. That was unique.
And the breaking ball here, slipping out of the hand of Brad Hand.
Yeah, no intent.
Conforto here with the pitch.
No intent there, as you mentioned that it was a breaking ball.
Crowd booing, but breaking ball from Hand.
Sometimes the breaking ball just gets away from you and you can't get it out there.
Jose Reyes with 2 down, runner at first base here in the 8th. And a base hit back in the first inning. Reyes 1 for 4 in the ball game. Inside corner, and Reyes didn't think so. And he had ball 3, but it's 2-1.
That's a strike, inside corner.
Swings and lifts it in the air down the left field line. Spangenberg over towards the seats is going to make a catch in fair ground that ends the inning. We head for the 9th, 9-3 New York.
Live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go, presented by your San Diego County Toyota dealers. Download the app and take Padres baseball wherever you go.
Well, it's on here to the 9th inning, and Salas back on the mound again for the Mets. Ibar leading it off here in the 9th inning. Ibar 1 for 3 and a base hit back in the 4th inning. And he'll take strike 1. Fernando Salas, the 5th pitcher of the night for the Mets. Matt Harvey, the pitcher of record right now. 5 innings through 103 pitches in those 5 innings. Ended up giving up 2 runs on 3 hits, walked 4, and struck out 6. 12 strikeouts tonight for Mets pitching of Padres hitters. To center field. Lagares is playing a shallow center, but he gets back there in plenty of time.
Well, you ain't kidding. He got back there quickly, and he had time to actually set up underneath that baseball and make the two-handed grab.
1 down here in the 9th inning. And it brings up Alan Cordoba. Comes off the bench here to pinch hit. 292, 3 homers, 7 runs batted in for Cordoba. Batting in the pitcher spot here with 1 out in the 9th inning, and the Padres down by 6. Josh Smoker, Paul Sewall, Jerry Blevins, and now Fernando Salas in relief of Harvey. There's a flare out to short, and there's Reyes to make the catch. Stride or 2 on the outfield grass. 2 down in the 9th. Top of the order, Manuel Margot coming up here with 2 down in the 9th inning. 1 for 4 night for Manuel. 2 strikeouts in the game. And a single his last time up. There's strike 1. Field straight away on Margot. Salas has retired all 3 Padres he's faced since coming into this game. Came in the 8th.
Well, hey, I know you got to play them all, right? But it's just so frustrating when you look up at that scoreboard and it's the 7th spot at the bottom of the 1st.
Of course, you had the big lead Friday night.
Yeah.
For Arizona Saturday. We're salvaging the final game of the series on Sunday, but there have been 3 of the last 4 where big first innings have been a problem. Swing and a miss, and Margot evens the count now 2-2. What's left of this crowd in New York will come to their fate, but there's the 7-run first inning. Makes it tough. Salas with a 2-2 pitch. Margot will take it high, full count. Payoff pitch from Fernando Salas, and Margot strikes out to end the ball game. So the Mets take game 1 of this 3-game series. They down the Padres 9-3, and really all about an ineffective first inning for Jhoulys Chacín. He gives up 7 runs And the Padres drop the opener. We send it to Mike Pomeranz. Mike, what's in store?